As was forecast, conditions in Cadiz turned extreme from the early morning on day 4, with winds ranging from 30 to 38 knots from the southwest and waves reaching up to 4 meters. The race committee initially hoisted AP flags ashore for all fleets. However, shortly after noon, the Delta flag went up for the senior men, and they headed out to race.
Welcome to Day 4 of racing at the 2025 IQFoil International Games in Cadiz. With wind in excess of 30 knots, only the senior men were sent out to race today.
So it's going to be an epic day. I hope we'll do some races.
Will be a good try for us to test for the limits of the 8 meters.
The boys in this hangar are psyched to go out.
I think we're ready to go now.
Managed to complete 3 course races. Gray Morris won every single one of them, securing himself the best position for the grand final tomorrow.
I'm from Australia, so we have a lot of fun in the waves, and all the boys can agree that was a pretty hectic few races. Pretty happy to stay consistent in that kind of conditions. Even managed to get away with doing a crash in one of the races. If I win the first race tomorrow in the finals, then I win the regatta. If I don't, then I get another chance. So we're all up to play and hopefully a bit of fun.
With races called off in all the other fleets, the standings remain the same as yesterday. Stay tuned to see who triumphs tomorrow in the medal series.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, for March 21st, 2025. Race 8 of the J-J-Giltinan 18-footers championships was marred by an incident between Finport Finance and New Zealand's ASCC, which went to protest, with Finport Finance's team seeking redress. Yandoo leads the points table with a total of 15 points, followed by Finport Finance, Keagan York, on 24, Raga and Famish Hotel on 30, C-Tech on 39, Smeg on 45 and Balmain on 52.6 points. The final race results confirmed the TE crew of Yandoo took out the 2025 JJs after another dominant showing on Sydney Harbour.
ASCC and Finport have just come together.
Finport and ASCC.
There it is in the back of the screen.
Now this is not good.
No, I'll take my shirt off and no. Hey, where are your stickers? Come on, do it. He's got some markers for the Lazarus, I think. Some port and starboard markers.
It's not for Lazarus, that's unfair on the boys. It's just for Keagan. Love the Keagan dog, but he's getting some assistance now on his rules.
I think for Keagan, it's got to say starboard when he's on port. Yeah. Tom's ready now.
The game plan today. Yeah. Let's hope for big wind. And then the game plan is to reach the top mark first and then just keep the position. That will be ideal.
The Yandoo team of Tom Needham, Fang Warren and Lewis Brake went into today's race 8 of the winnings 2025 J-J-Giltinan Championships with a 2-point lead over Finport Finance, its closest challenger to retaining their title won in 2024. At the end of today's racing, Yandoo provisionally increased the margin to 9 points pending a protest following a racing incident involving the Finport Finance team. On the racecourse, Yandoo's crew were again superb and grabbed their 6th win from 8 straight races sailed to date when they defeated the Rag and Famish Hotel team, Harry Price, Max Paul and Tim Rodowitz, by 1 minute and 21 seconds at the end of 3 windward leeward laps. New Zealand's C-Tech skippered by Alex Fallings, gave an excellent performance to finish third, 15 seconds further back, after having pushed Yandoo crew to its limits on the first lap of the course. Next was Balmain, followed by Marine Outlet, Bacardi, Queensland's Bigfoot Bags and Covers, Smeg, Germany's Black Knight, and Lazarus Capital Partners. The incident between Finport Finance and New Zealand's ASCC is likely to go to protest, with Finport Finance team seeking redress. Pending the result of the protest, Yandoo leads the points table with a total of 15 points, followed by Finport Finance on 24, Bragg and Famish on 30, C-Tech on 39, Smeg on 45, and Balmain on 52.6 points. In the handicap section of the regatta, Smeg leads with a total of 43 points, followed by Skiff Ropes, Rockstar on 48, with Shaw & Partners Financial Services, and Wealth tied for third place on 54 points. Once again, Yandoo was soon into the lead after another great start off the boat end of the line, but this time she was pushed to her limit by C-Tech and led by just 5 seconds at the weather mark. Bacardi was also great on the opening leg, rounding the top mark in third place. C-Tech was applying the pressure to Yandoo all the way down the run. When the two met at the bottom mark, there was absolutely nothing between them. Side by side they rounded the mark, and just to be sure there was no possible cause for protest, the Yandoo crew elected to take a penalty turn immediately and began the chase to regain the lead from the C-Tech team. The breeze freshened to a little around 12 knots for the second beat of the weather mark, and it was business as usual for the Yandoo crew as they clawed back the lead from C-Tech to around 11 seconds ahead as spinnakers were set for the following run to the bottom mark. Breeze increased to possibly 15 knots for the final beat to the weather mark, and it was all systems go for the Yandoo team as it powered away from the challengers to head home with a lead 1 minute and 7 seconds over the Rag and Famish Hotel. Much will depend on the outcome of protest hearings, but whatever happens, racing will continue to be fast and action-paced, and nobody should miss seeing these 28 racing machines as they fly across the sun-drenched Sydney Harbour.
Incident with Finport finally had a good start on all the races, and eventually going to Shaw & Partners, and he just didn't give us enough room. He thinks he's in the... We're in the wrong, we think he's in the wrong, but yeah, he didn't give us enough room, and we kind of had a bit of a pile up with him. We snapped our pod and ripped his our jib and his wrap pretty destroyed, so yeah, a little tricky one there. No one's angry or anything, it's just
Yeah. Any protests going on?
Yeah, there will be. I don't know, I heard they're pretty bad off almost, so. Oh, you got no space, look. Look at us, we're about to get wobbled. Get a zoom in on that one, mate. We were supposed to go. We're really gonna kill Emma or kill ourselves, so.
Yeah, is anyone hurt, by the way?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think ASCC boys are okay.
Yeah, I looked behind. Brando was like, oh, this could be a big one. And then we just saw the two of them come together behind us. And I watched the ASCC pole different points. And I'm like cracking a cold.
The inaugural McIntyre Mini Globe race has officially set sail, and what a start it's been. The first leg from Antigua to Panama has already delivered drama, camaraderie, and a masterclass in offshore sailing in these mighty minis. With 15 Alma-class Globe 580s, battling it out over 1,200 nautical miles, the manager is proving to be everything the sailors themselves expected, the ultimate test of skill, endurance, and a whole lot of fun in boats they built themselves.
The race kicked off on the 23rd of February in Falmouth Harbour, Antigua, under a brilliant blue sky and a steady 15-knot breeze. The local National Sailing Academy, with its commitment to youth and disabled sailing, provided the perfect backdrop for the event. The skippers, already local heroes, took kids and disabled Antiguans for a sail during an open day, earning cheers and admiration from the community. The start was nothing short of spectacular. 14 boats jostled for position, with Adam Waugh, on Little Wren, crossing the line first. Eric Marsh, on Sun Bear, had a minor hiccup running aground while sorting out headsel issues, but he was back in the race just 8 minutes later. Meanwhile, Jasmine Harrison, on number 2, was already turning heads, flying her bright pink A5 spinnaker and hooting along down the coast. The Caribbean Sea served up its usual mix of beauty and challenges. Strong currents became the wildcard, creating confusing, even dangerous seas that kept most of the skippers busy and alert for much of the passage. Strong trade winds kept the average speeds high, but at times when against the current, 6-meter short steep seas developed, all this when inside cabin temperatures were running at 33 degrees. Just as the leaders were reaching the Panama finish line, the final entrant Gary Swindale, number 111, question 2, Australia, was crossing the start line. Gary was a late starter after facing shipping delays from Australia, and was very excited to finally be racing, having just days before finished his mandatory solo qualifying voyage. It was a slow start with light winds, but apart from missing family and friends, all appeared okay. Having won the McIntyre Globe 580 Transat, and now the first leg of the McIntyre Manager, Renault, was in high spirits on crossing the finish line in the dark on the still waters inside the Panama breakwaters. As he dropped the mainsail and prepared to make for Shelter Bay Marina under a jib, he stepped from the deck down into the cockpit and slipped on a large flying fish. He crashed down, hitting his back, and then cracking his head, seeing stars. John Blinky Blenkinsop, on Delta 100, and Dan Turner, on Immortal Game, emerged as dark horses in the race. Dan had to face a disconnected forestay that could not be fixed. The internal rigging screw inside his furling gear unscrewed. Fortunately, the inner babystay kept the mast up. He could no longer use any headsails and completed the last few days with main and spinnakers only. Still managing a strong finish, proving that perseverance pays off. With leg 1 complete, the fleet is now preparing for leg 2, a mammoth 6,700 nautical mile journey to Vuda Marina, Fiji, via the Marquesas Islands, Tahiti, and Tonga, with only 23 days allowed for stopovers. The skippers will face new challenges, from navigating the doldrums to crossing the vast Pacific Ocean. But if the first leg is anything to go by, they'll tackle it with skill, determination, and a healthy dose of humor. But first they are bound for the warm waters of the Pacific, over land. Too small for the Panama Canal, 2 trailers have been modified to carry the Alma Globe 580s, the 100 kilometers across the isthmus one at a time. The clock is running, and start day is now set back 1 day for the 24th of March, 2025.
St. Patrick's Day. Wow, what a great weekend for the first National Open of the year. 190 entries, so much so that we had to flight the ILCA 6 and highest entry for a weekend event for many years. Full range of experience from almost a full complement of British sailing team members to club sailors, masters and first-timers. Yes, there was a very cold chill, but the race team got through the races efficiently. There was a good crowd for food and rugby after sailing.
Hi, I'm John Emmett. I'm here at the Weymouth and Portland National Sailing Academy. It's the start of the 2025 season, and we've got the national ranking events for the ILCA UK class. Now, these national opens are exactly that. They're completely open competition. Anyone can come, anyone welcome. So we've got Olympians. In fact, I think we've probably got 3 Olympians here this weekend with nearly 200 entries, and we've got people who are doing their first ever event. The more the merrier, and we've got lots more sailing to come for ILCA UK in 2025.
So I'm Felipe Garcia from London. I'm an ILCA 7 sailor. Well, so far for me it's not going that great, but there's many aspects that I have to improve, but it is really fun. It's really fun being able to compete against the top sailors. It's really tough to be honest. I'm pretty much new to the ILCA 7 fleet, so I'm currently just like beating 1 or 2 free boats here and there.
Hi, I'm Matilda Nichols. I'm an ILCA 6 sailor on the British sailing team, and we're here at the National Open in Weymouth. So the National Open Series is for everyone, all abilities. I think in the ILCA 6 this weekend we've got 94 entries, which is incredible. And that's all the way from new people into the class, club level, all the way up to us lot who are competing internationally and vying for the Olympics. This cycle for LA 2028 is kicked off already. We've had a really long winter of training, but it's been super productive in Villamora, and we've just moved our base to Palma because we've got the Princess Sofia regatta coming up at the end of this month. Key goals for this year, definitely trying to go for top 10 at the Worlds. They are coming up in May, so everything's sort of building up to that. All of it's building towards LA 2028. Top tip for your first ILCA event, it is the hardest class out there. It's super, super fun. The racing's amazing because of how difficult it is, and it's really, really exciting, but it's really, really hard to do well in every single race, and just don't beat yourself up if it's not going so well the first few days. Your time will definitely come. You just have to always learn from the mistakes. If you're making mistakes, then you're always learning, which is cool.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm Sophie. The ILCA 4.7 is the smallest sail of the ILCA boat. It's just a really fun and competitive boat.
What are your goals for this weekend?
To not be last, hopefully. Yeah, I think just to get more experience in the boat and have more competitive racing. My plans for the rest of the year are just to go to the smaller events and just keep it small. I'm planning on sailing my ILCA in some events alongside my fever sailing.
After 6 straight wins, Mateusz Kuznierowicz and Bruno Prada have cemented themselves as Bacardi Cup legends. What does it take to stay on top of one of the toughest one-design fleets in the world? Precision, patience, and an unbreakable partnership. We hear from the champions themselves about their journey, their mindset, and what keeps them coming back.
Watching away from the line that I knew. Leaving behind all the things that we grew.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get this win into myself, and can't believe we made it.
It's outstanding. Not good 6 Bacardi, but 6 Bacardis in a row. 6 Bacardi is already something unthinkable. 98 years of Bacardi, counting skipper and crew.
Now it comes to me that we did something unbelievable. 6 years in a row to sail so well. Fleet is so strong, and every year is a little bit different game. I still don't feel it, but probably tomorrow it will come to me.
It's not normal in the start class, this happened.
Trust me, it's not easy. We left everything on the race course. It's amazing how tired we are. It's full concentration. It's feeling the wind, analyzing everything.
In my case, it's the place that I sail most outside of Brazil. Mainly I was at home sailing.
Spent hours on discussion and analyzing the weather forecast, the settings, our notes, what the other people were doing. Especially Ogi Diaz, he helps us a lot.
Develop equipment and sailing and everything with Ogi, and I think this make a big difference.
It's not like we are going and it's, okay, let's sail and probably it will be good. It's hours, actually days, weeks or months preparation. We are so tired physically. It's unbelievable. We just spoke after finishing that it was one of the toughest Bacardi Cup for us.
Like a relief. We did it. It was a really good feeling. We are planning to do 4 regattas from now, including 100 years of Bacardi. The Worlds in Split, then the Bacardi next year, Worlds next year here in Miami, and then 100 years of Bacardi. So
we are not the youngest. We sail for so many years, and actually sailing, we take it as a sport, but also as a lifestyle, as a passion. Like Eddie from Bacardi mentioned on the opening page of the Invitational, letter to everyone here. This is kind of not only the lifestyle, but also our mindset. And we love it because this gives us energy, satisfaction, positive thinking. If you have something to look forward to. And the key to longevity is someone to love, someone interesting to do, and something to look forward to. And I think together with Bruno, we've got it also in our lives.
We are super fortunate to have this feeling like a dozen or more times in Bacardi's worlds and big regatta. It's always a great feeling, and we never get tired to keep going.
Look, I know that I've got the talent for sailing, and I really can see the wind in colors. It's an amazing feeling. But this comes all together when, I'm feeling good.
It's been a busy time at the Nautor Swan factory as they roll out their hulls 1 of their new Swan 128 and Swan 80s. The Swan 128, the largest in Nautor Swan's maxi range, has officially entered the paint booth as the next phase in her meticulous construction begins. This moment marks a significant milestone for the 39-meter superyacht, where her carbon composite hull will be coated to enhance her sleek lines and provide essential protection for her voyages ahead. The Club Swan 80, on the other hand, is the latest member of the Club Swan range. Once again, it demonstrates that this division of Nautor Swan offers yachts that are based on the values of style, speed, innovation, technology, and competitive sailing potential.
Emerging from the paint booth at the Nautor Swan yard in Pietarsaari, Finland, Swan 128, hull NU8 MBER1, moves one step closer to reality. Every layer of paint has been meticulously applied, ensuring a flawless finish that reflects both the yacht's striking presence and its uncompromising performance on the water. As construction progresses, this latest flagship of the Swan fleet continues to embody the very best of Nautor Swan's craftsmanship, where innovation meets tradition and every detail is perfected with precision. A milestone moment, Swan 80, hull number 1, emerges from the mold. The first of its kind, this groundbreaking yacht takes its first steps towards the water, revealing the precision, craftsmanship, and innovation that define Nautor Swan. The journey from concept to creation continues.
The Ocean Race Europe, the premier fully crewed, offshore sailing race for the foiling IMOCA class, will visit the Mediterranean coast of France for the first time this summer. The Ocean Race Europe, which showcases the best female and male IMOCA sailors in the world in a race that connects the Baltic with the Mediterranean and Adriatic seas with races between 7 iconic cities and countries, is adding a French stopover to its summer race route.